said a hip hop. Hibbit to the hibbity.
Hip hop.
Hip hop.
Hip hop. Hip hop rock. And you don't stop.
Oh. To the bang bang boogie.
Up jump the boogie.
To the rhythm of the boogity beat. Right.
Sorry. Yes.
That's the best way to start an interview. No, that's funny. Just hip hop quotables. How we feeling? We good? Everything's bueno? You loose?
Yeah, yo. Now I'm all gassed up off of coffee.
Oh, you jittery now? So Bliv, how you feeling?
Now let me.
We centered?
Everybody's like,
Nah,
yeah, we
that's
good. No, we
cool.
good.
Well, welcome to Liner Notes in the space. You've been here before, but you've never sat in the hot seat like this.
Nah, yo, it's kind of.
You good?
Yeah, I'm kind of nervous, man.
All right, well, it's okay. We want you to be nervous. That way you give twitchy answers.
No, I'm gonna give very concise answers for you, man.
Matter of fact.
I want to give this a good, a good
Professional.
go. Professional go. Yes.
I appreciate that because I act like a professional as well. So this is gonna work out nicely. I honestly don't even know where to start with you, bro. There is so much that I feel like we could talk about, but I think it's best usually if we start from the beginning, not the super beginning.
Yeah.
But you're a classically trained vocalist. You know what I'm saying? Like you were a choir kid. You know what I'm saying? Like
True.
You went to VCU and tell me about like how your path kind of shaped up with music and then trending into like hip hop.
It's wild because I wasn't supposed to be doing this at all, considering my history. From elementary school, I was in chorus. I didn't even take it seriously, the whole singing thing, until about high school. That's when I really realized, like, oh, I can like really do something with like this music stuff. I was in show choir at Meadowbrook High School. Nice. I was in all district, all state chorus. Matter of fact, I just saw my high school choral director last week at my son's all district concert.
Oh, wow.
And he told me to tell my son to tell him that I was the best bass in the state at the time. This was like 2000 though. So this is a while ago, right? But all of that, kind of led me to here. But I mean, I went to VCU for vocal music. I did all of that, like really strict study and stuff, like learning like languages and, falling asleep in theory class. That's when I realized though, like falling asleep in theory class, that's when I realized like this might not be exactly what I wanted to do, but because at the same time I was doing hip hop.
Was it the theory itself that was bugging you out, or just the vocal theory?
No, it was the theory. It was the act of learning theory, because I learned theory on my own, just listening to music. You know what I'm saying? But like sitting in a classroom, having a teacher dictate music, and then quarter note, half note, all this, all that stuff. It's boring. Like me and this girl, we would fall asleep every class. We both barely passed, barely. But at the same time in college, I was getting into hip hop. I was doing hip hop things,
Hip hop things?
Hip hop things, yes. Like,
wow.
Yeah, like,
what do you think? In the grand scheme of hip hop things, there are like 5 elements, aren't there? There are 5 main elements.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like sugars, starches, fruits and vegetables.
Bro, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, no,
so
I
was linking up with graffiti writers at the time, linking up, doing open mics. I was breakdancing, I was learning DJing, I was writing raps this whole time, you know. So I was like getting really deep into like the local hip hop scene, Richmond, that whole era. I was like what 99, 2000, 2001. So like meeting people through that scene is how I got really like, you know, inculcated into the hip hop scene here. And the classical side kind of was like, I don't really rock with these people, you know, they're not my kind of people, you know what I'm saying? So I changed my major. I actually changed my major to mass communication.
Okay.
And from that, I started getting crazy deep into hip hop, like doing more shows, and just, you know, just.
What was your focus in mass comm?
Just mass media.
Oh, mass media?
Yeah, just mass media.
I'm broadcast journalism.
Okay.
Shout outs to mass comm.
Yeah.
What was the first kind of group or venue where you started to feel like, all right, I found my place here in the hip hop community?
Wow, this was probably, wow. So back then, wow, that's kind of hard because my story kind of has a lot of like false starts.
Okay.
Okay, so going back to college, I was doing that, right? I was doing the hip hop thing and all of that stuff, and I was living downtown at the time too, so it kind of made it a lot easier to get involved with a lot of stuff. But then once I left school, I moved back to Chesterfield with my current wife. Back then was my girlfriend, my current wife, and I kind of fell out of the scene. I didn't get back into the scene till maybe like 4 or 5 years later. I mean, I got a regular job, started working at like Barnes and Noble, kind of just, you know, just living life and, you know, making beats, you know, like on my own, not really showing anybody or anything like that. Just making stuff and just kind of building skills, you know.
Right.
It probably wasn't until 2005, 6 when I met Corey Smith.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember Corey Smith.
From the Earth Tone crew.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I met him through a mutual friend, Bryce McCormick, and that's when I pretty much started like making music really in earnest. We started a group, Score One for the Little Guy, and we were really on the outside of things. You know, all of us were from Chesterfield. We really didn't, you know, go into the city much. So we just were just building our stuff like out in Chesterfield, you know, just making songs, woodshedding, you know, trying to find our sound, style and stuff. So it wasn't until about 2005, 6 until we started doing shows at the Canal Club, Camel, Alley Cats.
Yeah.
And through that is how I met all of y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of Score One, like, and you were coming into hip hop at this time, and like you said, you were building skills.
Right.
But Score One was hip hop, but it's a different version of hip hop. I mean, you had acoustic guitar, you had beatboxer.
Wait.
Oh,
that's Earth Tone.
Oh, Earth Tone, my bad, sorry.
Score
Score
One
was just you and Corey.
Yeah,
My
Score
bad.
One was just me and Corey. Then we branched out to the Earth Tones,
That's right.
and then that's when it went into all of that, like acoustic, beatbox.
Like y'all were just,
stuff, so.
I like that you guys were doing whatever, like, was feeling good to you at the time, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and the energy passed between you all. And that was back when you were rapping still.
Indeed.
I thought you were a dope lyricist.
I mean, I think I'm a dope lyricist.
You're
too.
still a dope lyricist.
But I mean, just.
What made you wanna stop rapping, or was it just kind of a natural progression?
Personal things happened in my life. Around that time, which was like around 2008, 2009, my son was born. I got married, my son was born, and my mom died, like in the span of like 2-3 months. Okay?
That's a lot.
So all of that stuff was going on, right? And at the time, I was like, I was doing the beats, and I was getting a little bit of notoriety for my beats, and I wanted to go further with that. Like, I felt like at that time I was very like shut off from the world with like my mom passing. I didn't really have anything much to say. I just kind of was like in a real deep grieving stage. So I just kind of just fell back on rap. I was like, I really don't want to express this part of me right now, but I feel like as a rapper it's something I should be doing. But so I kind of had that crossroads. I was like, I'm just gonna funnel all this energy into like just the music. So I just buckled down and just started just tapping out beats. Just every night, every day, making a beat, making 3, 4 beats a day, you know, like to the point to where my goal was like, I want to make 30 minutes of material a day, basically a tape. I want to make like a tape a day. I did that for about 3, 4 years.
Wow.
I mean, to this day, I still try to, you know, reach that. You know, things are a little different now, you know, with life, you know what I'm saying? But I still try to do that.
I mean, they say, you know, the best thing to do is just to be consistent in your art. Like when you're writing, is just keep writing every day. You know what I mean? The genius is more in quantity sometimes than the
you gotta make bad stuff before you get to the good stuff, you know?
Right.
And that's something that I learned. I was like, I gotta make all this trash. I gotta make this trash. To this day, I still got to make trash, you know, to get to like the good stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
when you sit down, you know, each day, each morning, and you're like, you know, the goal is to make music. You know, you have the 30 minutes in your head, but it's not necessarily like I have to do 30 minutes.
Right,
but
right.
When you sit down, like, where do you start? Are you just flipping on a record that you haven't heard in a while? Are you? I mean, what's your style?
That's pretty much how it starts. I'm an avid record collector.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's like my passion, you know, I love records, right? So, I mean, a lot of it is really essentially just trying to showcase my record collection. So I would just, you know, pull out a record, listen to it, you know what I'm saying? And just, you know, see what I can make with it. Be like, yo, this is a good record. I don't think enough people have heard this or know what it's about. So let me flip it or do something with it to maybe somebody might get curious and check it out, you know what I'm saying?
What about like sampling records and taking sounds that don't fit together and making them fit together like appeals to you?
Yeah, it's just the juxtaposition of like energies, you know what I'm saying, the frequencies, you know, like I'll put like a smooth jazz sample on some like real like dusty drums, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's kind of weird, you know, because it's not like a typical sound, you know, but I like that type of juxtaposition, you know, like having like really raw, like hardcore lyrics over like a real smooth, like light, airy sample, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just like that type of like clash, you know, kind of create something new out of that.
That makes me think, you're talking about like clash and sounds, like a lot of your beats are very groove driven and smooth, and I think that's maybe why like you and Fly Anakin mesh so well, like his vocals and your beats, like his vocals are very standout. Like, you know Fly Anakin when you hear him.
Oh yeah, of course.
And I think that is a good juxtaposition with like your beats. You know, what's the story with like linking up with Fly Anakin and Mutant Academy and just kind of working with those cats?
I mean, it kind of happened very organically. I remember just being online one day, and I think I was on SoundCloud, and I stumbled across some tracks that said like, you know, beats by Ohbliv, or you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then I see Concept Jackson, Fly Anakin, and I listened to it. I thought it was cool, right? I didn't know him at the time, right? But then I find out that they're, you know, right around the way. So, I mean, I literally like, you know, hit them up. I was like, yo, y'all don't have to like, you know, just jack beats, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're in the same area, you know, let's work, you know? And basically that's how it started, you know? And after that, the ball just rolled, you know? And then we came out with like, you know, a couple joints and Backyard Boogie, and yeah, man. And now he's like out of this world, you know?
Yeah.
Like, he's really doing it. I'm proud of him.
It's always good when somebody from Richmond, you know, gets a little shine.
Yeah, always, yo.
You know, I felt, so I got to bring it up. Speaking of Fly Anakin and you, like, you guys have that really dope mural done by Nils Westergaard. Like,
yes.
I used to walk past it in the mornings when I would be, you know, doing my walks from work. They did Fly Anakin dirty, man.
Super dirty.
They
Super
did.
dirty. I don't even know why they did. Like, I mean, I know why, but it's like, bro, they couldn't think of any other options. Like,
yeah, they definitely took
crazy.
a window and took out his eyeball.
Yeah.
In the mural.
Yeah. That's foul. Yo.
Your face is still there, looking good though.
I mean, yeah. Gotta give.
How did that happen? How did you link with Nils Westergaard to kind of be a subject in this piece?
I mean, I've known Nils for a while. I've known Nils since for some years now. I remember when he did Nick's, the first one, which was Nick's mural, which was like, I don't know, maybe like 6 some years ago. And I mean, we just knew each other. Like, we did, Nils did the video for Nick and I, for this, the third yellow gold? No, the second yellow gold. Yeah, we just had been talking over time, you know, and we just decided finally, it's time for, you know, it's time for your face to go up on a wall somewhere, so.
I think it's dope.
I think it's dope too, man. Much respect to Nils, yo. Homie for life. Everybody showing love, you know.
Yeah. No, it was cool, man. I'd be like walking by in the morning. It'd be like 6 a.m. The sun's just coming up, and I'd be like, "That's my friend. Hey, what's up, Bliv?" It was cool.
So sweet. So sweet.
Yeah. When is Yellow Gold 3 coming out?
What do you mean? What do you mean? It is out.
It's kind of out.
It is out.
Wait, all the like the audio?
It's on YouTube. That's it.
I know.
No, that's it.
I know.
I know, that's it.
I know.
All right. So me and Nick do have some more stuff in the tuck. Like we got a whole nother thing in the tuck, right?
Okay.
But the Brewers sessions is Yellow Gold 3.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, so we did that in conjunction with Brewers Cafe, right? Because they were doing the whole like, you know, Tiny Desk thing, right? And we did it, and we literally did it in a week. You know what I'm saying? Like Nick recorded, like I sent him the beats, he made the songs, we you know, cleaned it up and did all that and recorded that there live, you know, in a week, right? And after that, we just decided like, yo, it is what it is. Like the energy's there. You really can't recreate the energy. We can make the songs and make it sound nice and, you know, put it up on streaming and all that good stuff. But I feel like sometimes, especially in this era, things are so easy to get to and things are so accessible. Sometimes you gotta have a couple of hoops, you know what I'm saying, for people to go through, you know, to kind of keep things a little special. You know, if you really want to listen to it, you'll listen to it in the format that it's presented in, you know what I'm saying? And if you dig it, it is what it is. If not, whatever. But yeah, that's it. But we do have like some official stuff coming.
Well, I'm very interested to hear that. And I'll say it didn't stop me. I watched that video a whole bunch.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like it was a great performance.
Thank you. I appreciate that, man.
That one the joint where it's like walking down a back alley at night. I think that's what Nick said.
Yeah, man.
Yo, that beat was crazy.
Dude is low key a genius, man. Like Nick is a great guy, man. Yeah.
Yellow Gold classic.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Right?
That's what it is. I do want to talk about your latest project with Black Lick. I love Black Lick. That's another dude from Richmond that is always for the community, always for the people. And also, I mean, he's a dope rapper, but he's also in like a crazy hardcore metal band. Like, just a very interesting dude. So when you link up with Black Lick, and you've been doing that for a while, but like putting this project together, what was the feeling going into it? What did y'all want to create?
It all started with one track. We did a track, and it came out well, and I really, really liked how it came out, and I just sent him more beats. That's pretty much how it, you know, because we had always been talking about doing some stuff. You know how it go, you know. And we're just like, yo, it's time, you know. Like, let's do this, like for Richmond, like kind of like bring these two kind of like worlds together, like this Richmond stuff. I'm more on like the, you know, the soulful end of things, you know, smooth, you know what I'm saying? He's a little more like hardcore, you know. So, but like I was telling you, the juxtaposition, you know what I'm saying? Like the you know, the clashing of the styles is what kind of like creates something new and fresh, you know? So like I was really interested, and I always wanted to hear him over different beats of mine. So yeah, I mean, it was a pleasure working with dude. Dude works fast, you know. He's a solid brother. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. When you're putting together like a beat pack to send to somebody, you know, are you giving them like a range of your sounds, or do you have something kind of specific that you start sending them?
It depends. If I know who I'm working with, you know what I mean, I kind of have an idea, so I know what to send. But if it's somebody that I haven't really worked with, I'd send them, you know, pretty much like the whole, you know, gamut, you know, from mild to wild, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So just to see what they, you know, gravitate towards. So
kind of give them the sampler plate.
Got to, you know, because you never know.
Right.
You never know. I've sent some of the wildest stuff to people, not expecting any type of thing, and they'd be like, yo, this is crazy, oh my God. And I'm like, are you serious? Like a lot of the Fly Anakin stuff, if you ask him, he'll tell you, like a lot of that stuff I was kind of cool on, you know? But, you know, everybody's ear is different, you know.
Right.
People hear different things, you know. So at the time, I wasn't feeling it. But then maybe later on, I'll be like, oh, yo, it's actually really dope.
Yeah. Yeah, and sometimes you got to throw stuff at the wall, you know what I mean? It's
yeah.
like, you know, something that you're like, it's all right. They made love, you know what I'm saying, and draw inspiration from that makes you kind of go back and tweak it a little more. Like, do you have that conversation when you're working with people? Like, do they put some vocals on it and then you kind of make the beat a little different, or do you adjust things, or is it kind of like?
It's pretty much is what it is. Anything that happens like that, it's like really just on some mixing type of stuff, like, you know, maybe like raising the vocals, lowering the vocals, stuff like that. But the beat is what it is, you know. Like, I shoot from the hip and I make what I make. If you want to rock over that, that's cool. But if we're going to work on stuff where I'm going to be like tailor making beats, then you got to come up off that a little more, you know.
Understood.
But, you know, it's all good though. It's all art, you know.
It is. And speaking of art, like you're a multi-talented dude. Like, you've been collaging with audio for years, you know, sampling, but you're starting to get into like visual collaging now.
Yeah.
And some of your album artwork has reflected that. What's piquing your interest about that, and like what kind of images are you grabbing?
Oh man, I mean, I've been collaging for a long time, and then I kind of fell back to focus on the music stuff. Like, but I've been collaging since I was like a teenager. But then it just got to a point to where it's like I wanted to really hone in on the vision that I have. You know what I'm saying? And so I just started, you know, making more personal collages, and I'm pulling from everything. I'm pulling from, of course, you know, the cliche National Geographics and all of that good stuff, but I'm pulling from like personal pics, you know, music magazines, anything I can get my hands on, honestly, you know, like stuff off the ground, like, you know, like I'm really trying to transition that the artwork that I'm doing, like from my album covers, more into like, you know, fine art, you know, trying to get in the museums with this.
That's dope.
Man.
This is an off-the-wall question.
Go for it.
Yeah, this is an off-the-wall.
Go for it.
Would you consider yourself to be a jazz artist? The way that, because I feel like the way you manipulate sounds, the timing of it is very jazzy with being more of a hip-hop style. But I don't know, man. What do you think about that?
It's interesting you say that, because I mean, I've been told that, and you know, at times I definitely liken myself to more of a jazz artist than a hip hop artist, because I was doing like jazz studies and stuff pretty much before I was doing hip hop. Like it was kind of like parallel, you know what I'm saying? So I would try to implement some like jazz stylings into hip hop, you know, I mean, talking about like time signatures, improvisation, stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, it depends. There's stuff that I have that's very hip hop, like pure hip hop, that you wouldn't consider it jazz at all. But I definitely like at times think of myself as a jazz artist. Yeah, I'm in all respect due to the actual instrumentalist, jazz instrumentalists out there. I'm nowhere near that. But the mentality, yeah.
Word. Yeah, and
definitely shout out to the cats. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Love people that can play instruments, because I'm not one of them. But another reason I wanted to ask that is because, like, your live performance, you know, throughout Richmond you can see beat sets. People do beat sets all the time, but like yours feel different. Yours like you entrance people. You bring people into like your vibe, and I like the improvisation that you do, like up there. I can see that you're playing the pads. You know what I'm saying? Like you're doing it live. You're not just playing a loop or something like that. You're in the moment, and so that's also why I kind of thought, like, I think of you as a jazz artist. Like, how did you form your live performance?
Well, that comes from actually live performing. I mean, all right. So in high school, one of my superlatives was best actor. I got best actor in my high school, Meadowbrook High School, class 2000.
You were the dude.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that I have experience on stage. I know about blocking. I know about stage presence. I know about all of those things, right? And I try to implement that in my live show. Improvisation. I mean, we used to do one-act plays, improvs, and stuff like that. You know, like competing against different schools with one-act plays. So, I mean, I try to include all of that into a lot of disciplines. I'm trying to forming a one thing, man. Some days it works better than others, but hey. We here.
We're here.
But yeah, I mean, I really try to like I want to give people an experience, something that they can remember. You know what I mean? Something, whether good or bad. You know what I mean? Good or bad. Whether they thought that it was trash and he was just pushing pads or something, or a transcendental experience. I want to help, you know, give that to people. So yeah,
that's really dope. And yeah, I think it's felt, you know, from what I can tell, you're one of the most respected producers, musicians in the city. So when you come out, I think people show up and expect a good time.
I appreciate all the love, man. Like, for real.
No problem, man.
Real.
Dog, we love you. That's, yo, look how many records are around this joint that like we've collected of yours. You know, Soulphonic over there, up. Some of these I stole from Justin though. He let me borrow a couple of these joints.
That's real love, man.
I mean, you got so many projects, man. Like I mean, you have a bunch of vinyl.
I can't help it.
I know. Well, if you saying you're making a tape a day, like you probably have terabytes.
That's what happened. Yeah, that's what's happening right now. Right now, I'm kind of in a weird place because I have a lot of material right now that I'm still trying to organize. And where I'm going now is it's kind of different from where I've been. So I'm trying to like figure that out right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like some days I feel like I'm like drowning in like music. You know, but. You know, we still swimming.
I mean, that's a good problem to have, right?
I guess so. I mean, that's what people say. It's like, yeah.
I think it's better than not having anything in the hard drive.
That's true.
And searching.
But I mean, when there's nothing, then like the possibilities are still kind of like endless. Like anything's possible when there's nothing there. When it's a blank slate.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
I mean, anything's still possible when there's something there.
Yeah, but you kind of have like biases and things kind of clouding, you know, your judgment sometimes. You know?
All right, well, if you want, I'll hold on to that hard drive for you and I'll listen to it.
Yo, I might, because I might need some outside curation.
Okay, well, I'm really good with like file management and keeping things in order. So you let me know. I will listen to a whole bunch of unreleased Bliv stuff.
Bet.
I'm down for that.
Bet.
I know that you used to work at BK Music back when it was up here on Midlow.
Yeah.
Like, what was that like? Were you the dude that was like curating people's sounds and helping people find like?
No. All right. Let me paint a picture real quick. All right. So we got like Plan 9 down. We got all the like, you know, like record stores, you know, like, you know, VCU and all that down there, right? And then we got like BK Music on Midlothian Turnpike, right? Yeah. So we got a lot of clientele, a lot of different clientele, right? So what I was doing basically, I was basically trying to open people up to different music when all they wanted to buy was a Lil Boosie, you know. So
what were you suggesting to pair with Lil Boosie?
Oh, I mean, at this time, you know, stuff like Lil Brother, Tribe Called Quest, because oh my gosh, this is one thing that I miss about BK. They had one of the best U sections, like U CD sections, one of the best I've ever seen, ever. I'm talking about the most rare out of print stuff. So I would try to like steer people over there, right? And just to check out some different stuff, but all they wanted to buy was like, you know, Lil Boosie. And I love Lil Boosie, you know what I'm saying? I love Lil Boosie, but at the same time, it's like, yo, like let's expand. But you know, I was trying to upsell, but it ain't work much.
How much of your paycheck went back to records and CDs?
A lot, bro, a lot. Like straight up, Fridays, get that check, go right back to the records.
Yeah, I think that's the danger of work. It's a danger of working in those things. Like I don't know if I'd make any money for the time that I was there. That's all right.
It is dangerous.
It's very dangerous.
I got some good stuff though. First dibs. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm gonna put this in the back. Did you have a system where like you would put it like third to the back so people wouldn't get there?
No, I would just pull it to the side, straight up, take it out the.
I like that.
This is my stash over there.
Just straight to it.
Yeah.
No, I like that. That's good.
Yeah. That's real.
Let's see. What do I want to touch on? Anything else you want to touch on specifically, man?
Nah, man, I'm just happy to be here, man.
I'm happy to be here, too. I'm happy you're here. Okay, here's something. Can we talk about the Chocolate Milk Collective?
Oh, wow, yeah.
Can we, like, let's talk about Richmond history.
Yeah, that's great, yeah.
Tell me who's in Chocolate Milk.
All right,
what are y'all doing? How did you form?
Well, all right. So Chocolate Milk never broke up. We just out doing our things right now. But it's this guy, Gordy Michael, Anu, Leland Jackson, Josh P, Travis, Lil Ugly Mane, Sean Kemp, Anthony, DJ Anthony, what was his name? DJ Mir at the time. Yeah, and I mean, we just came together on some beat stuff, like straight up, like pure beat stuff. Like this was like MySpace days. We really linked up. I remember I linked up with Josh first because he used to come to the Barnes and Noble I used to work at, and we would just chop it up about music and art and stuff. He introduced me to Leland, and it's funny because I met Leland Anu at a beat battle on VCU campus. I think y'all might have even been there. I think y'all might have even been there.
Maybe.
It was on Broad. It was on West Broad. Coffee shop. Yeah.
I forgot Junior Wong.
Junior Wong, yes, and Junior Wong. Yeah, and I met Leland at the beat show, but I didn't know that he knew Josh at the time. He knew Josh, and I knew Josh, but we didn't know each other. But then Josh linked us up on some like, yo, y'all do beats, you know what I'm saying? Just link up, and that was just, like us three were the core of Chocolate Milk. And then from there we met Junior Wong. We met like Travis. He moved from Philly back down to Richmond. And this guy over here, you know what I'm saying? He buys an SP, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, we started just doing shows, linking up. Through Chocolate Milk is how kind of things really spread out, because that's through Chocolate Milk is how we linked up with Knowledge and Clip Mode and Mind Design and all those guys. We brought those guys down to Richmond, had a show, and I mean, yeah, man, I was like really on some we were on some progressive, really progressive, really competing against each other. Like, yo, you hear this? Nah, here, check this out. Nah, check this out. Oh, I can't use that no more. Yo, you know what I'm saying? Like that. It was really at that time. It was really, really fresh. The beat scene was really in its impetus, baby stages. You know what I'm saying? So it was like anything was possible. It was before all of this, convoluted stuff going on now. It was just back then. It was just, I feel like it was a pure time, But hindsight.
Hindsight's 20/20,
right? But yeah, that time was a very influential time for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I always feel like when people, like a group of people get together and they have the same mission, that it's like iron sharpening iron. You know what I mean? You hear things like the Dungeon Family, they just lock themselves in the basement and they would always. Yes, Just Plain. Let's talk about Just Plain Sounds, please, because that's another Richmond staple that you were a huge part of.
And so were you.
Yeah, I was there too as well. That's for sure.
Those were great times. We used to hold the camel down.
Yeah,
like we really owned Richmond for that era. We were really doing stuff out there.
Yo, y'all were everywhere, man. Shout outs to everybody that was a part of that. I mean, I'm not gonna name everybody, but I know Just Plain Ant, who is now Ant the Symbol. My man changed his name. He messes me up all the time.
Yeah, because
I'm like, this is just Ant the Symbol.
Right, right.
But yeah, and then the homie Sleaze.
Rest in peace, yes.
Rest in peace, Sleaze. That dude had wild beats, man.
Yeah.
I was just talking to somebody the other day about him and how he did Ocarina of Rhyme.
Yeah.
You remember that project?
Yeah, that's awesome. That's one of my favorites. Yo, dude sampled all of Zelda, bro. At that time, it was and who's doing that,
Yeah. Because that was what, 07? 06?
I want to say that was 06, 07.
06 or 07, yeah. No.
It actually started with my mom. I went grocery shopping with her and was starting to see all of the options that are out there. I just was like, yo, I can make all kinds of pretzels. I would come up with a bunch of cravings and then start selling them at work. I spent a lot of time making sure every detail is perfect. I just knew whatever was gonna come out was gonna be real, because I live and breathe this handmade creations. It was really important for us to be able to provide something for our vegan community, gluten-free community, our sugar-free community. The pretzels are pretzel ladies. The cake pops are lady cakes. So just kind of trying to pour into that feminine energy and that You know, I can have kids and still own my own business. Like, I can do it all.
I want to thank you, by the way, A, for coming, but B, I can't tell you how many nights that I listened to your tapes out on the back porch of the apartment and just vibed out sitting there with a Miller High Life after work, man. So I appreciate that.
Fall asleep?
No, I didn't fall asleep. No, I was in the hood. I fall asleep out there. You fucked up. No, but it definitely was the soundtrack of my college years.
Oh man.
So I appreciate you.
That, man.
No
Thank
problem. I do want to open it up for some questions. If anybody has some, give us a second. We got to get that. Oh, you got the camera on already? Cool, when we on? Cool, give us a second. Open it up the floor for some good Q&A. I know you got a question, J-Bone.
Yeah, to warm up his voice.
Oh, okay.
Gargle some salt water.
He's gargling some.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, yeah, we doing that.
I meant salt water. Oh, look at you.
Here we go.
Is it blinking blue?
Here we go.
Turn on the other side. You see a light blink? Yes, you good. You good.
All right. We were talking about BK music. That got me thinking. Are you at liberty to talk about your D'Angelo story? It's kind of a running thing on the show.
Everybody tells the D'Angelo story?
All right. Well, yeah, it wasn't BK, but it was Barnes and Noble.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm at liberty to tell that. Yeah. So yeah, I was working at Barnes and Noble, and this is probably my second or third year working there, and I had heard stories from other employees that D'Angelo comes to this Barnes and Noble. This is his store, right? And I hadn't seen him yet, right? So I'm chilling. It's like a Sunday afternoon, and I work in the music department, so I was blessed with that too, right? So I'm chilling, and all of a sudden, I see this dude walk in with a black do-rag on, all black. Fat gold chain on, right? And I look at him, and I'm like to myself, I'm like, yo, this is D'Angelo. yo, D'Angelo's up here, right? Nobody, like I was there by myself, right? But I was tripping, right? So I just mind my business. I see him, he's buying stuff, he's looking at stuff, right? So he comes up, I ring him up. I remember what he bought. He bought like some Prince CDs. He bought like a punk rock CD, and he ordered a bunch of Parliament Funkadelic live DVDs. He ordered like 12 of them, right? So I ring him up, everything's cool. I tell him, I appreciate your interpolation of Junie Morrison on Dilla's The Shining. I told him that, right? And he looked at me like, how you know about that? I was like, I know a few things. Right, so we started talking a little bit. I tell him like I make music too, but I ain't stress him out because I knew that he would have to come back to pick up the DVDs, right? So I let him go, right? So he goes about his business. A week goes by, the DVDs come in. And fortunately, I was working, so I got to call him, right? He comes in, he picks up the DVDs. He ends up giving me one of the DVDs, right? I brought a tape with me too at this time, right? I brought a tape with me.
You gotta be ready.
Yeah, right? So I brought a tape with me. I give him a tape, has all my info on it, you know what I'm saying? A couple days later after that, I get a phone call. My wife picks up the phone. She's tripping. D'Angelo's on the phone. D'Angelo's on the phone, right? So like she's tripping. I take the phone, I go outside, I'm like talking to him, we're topping it up. And he's, we're talking about, all of this stuff. He's telling me about, he's got some situation going on with J Records and all of this stuff. And I tell him that I rap and that I sing. So he has me rap and sing on the phone, right? So then he tells me after that, he was like, young man, I'm starting a label deal. Would you like to be signed? Yo, I'm like, yeah, that's great, right? I'm like, yeah, that's what's up, right? He was like, yeah. He's like, but all right, so go back a little bit. This is when he was going through legal stuff. You know what I'm saying? This is when he was going through all of that stuff, though. You know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. Right? So I really didn't expect anything because he was telling me like he was going back and forth from like New York to VA because he was dealing with that, right? And at this time, like I had already had, Score One was already moving. We was already doing shows and going to colleges and doing shows and all that, right? So he had came back down to Richmond and he, no, I hit him up because we had a show and he, I hit him up a couple times and he was just going back and forth. So that kind of was the end of our correspondence because like it just got real fuzzy. You know, we just lost contact. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But yeah, I mean that was pretty much my experience. You know what I'm saying with D'Angelo. You know. That's dope. Yeah. So.
Man, your interpolation. I like that. You hit him with, you tried to impress him the same way that Questlove tried to impress him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yo,
just trying to catch his ear. You know what I mean?
Yo, I was really thinking. I was like, yo, what is gonna get his attention? You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
I knew me saying that thing about the Junie Morrison stuff, because not too many people even know like what he was doing on that song. So.
Yeah, nah, you threw some inside baseball at him. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's the gist of it, yo. And I mean, and honestly, that whole interaction with him kind of like fueled my whole thing because I was like, it fell through at that point, but the next time it ain't gonna be on no like handout type of stuff. You know, it ain't gonna be like, oh, I'm just like, yo, listen to my demo. Oh, listen. No, it's gonna be on some like we're gonna be in the same room together type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's been my whole thing. You know, like just trying to get in the same room with D'Angelo.
Yo, gotta be in the room where it happens, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I told people D'Angelo's gonna be on season 5 of Liner Notes. That's my goal. It's out there in the world now.
It is. Yeah. That's all you got to do.
We're just gonna keep working at it.
Put it in the universe.
Put it in the universe.
Yep.
Now it's on tape.
And now it's on tape.
Damn it.
Now it's gonna happen, bro.
Now it's gonna happen.
Don't ask me for favors no more.
Whenever you're ready.
All right. So you were talking about how you got in the ear of D'Angelo. So I want to know, how can someone like be in the same room as you and like pique your interest?
Oh wow. Like I was mentioning, first you gotta have some refreshments, right? But no, just being a cool, real person that has an interest in arts, you know what I mean, and that knows a little something about something. It doesn't even have to be music, you know what I mean? But I'm a big proponent on like you should learn something new every day. So anybody that I can learn from, you know what I'm saying? Like you can get in the room with me. You just gotta just be about something.
Cool.
And bring refreshments.
Bring refreshments.
Be hospitable.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
I like it. Just be a decent person.
That's pretty much it, man.
That's the key to life.
It's hard for a lot of people. I'm finding though. Kind of.
It's hard for all of us on a day-to-day.
It is, yeah.
It's okay. We'll make it.
One day at a time.
One day at a time. You know what I'm saying? You can only take
one day at a time. One day at a time.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. One time.
Any other questions? Anybody else got something? Nah, we good?
No, we good.
All right, cool. Max, if you want to bring my man his gift.
Oh, yeah. Oh, y'all are so
We just want to say thank you for coming through, man. We appreciate you.
Appreciate
coming in and sharing your story and your journey, man.
Wow, thank you. Can I look in it now?
Yeah, go for it. It's an unboxing video now.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yo. It's about to go viral. Oh, sweet. Nice. I like it. Quality.
And then you get to take one of those home.
Hey, I need a new mug.
Boom.
Yeah, thank you, man.
No problem, man. Yo, thank you so much for coming by, man.
Thank you, man.
I appreciate you. I love you. You are a dope individual. You make amazing music.
Oh, man.
And, yeah, I just thank you for coming through.
Thank you, man. Thanks, everybody, for having me.
Oh, we got to do the clapper joint. So 2 things. We need you to hold this. Look at this camera and say like, this is Ohbliv for Liner Notes, or just introduce yourself and then clap the board.
This one?
Yeah, that one right here.
All right.
Give 1 second, hold up, let him. You're good.
Super
Let him
nervous
frame it up.
energy.
And then after that, we just got to take a group photo.
Super nervous energy.
Ha.
Oh, I'm talking about me.
I'm talking about me.
Nah, man, it was good.
Natural.
Whenever you are ready.
Just say this is Ohbliv for liner notes.
Yeah, or say this is the coolest guy ever. Like you say whatever you want.
Yo. This is Ohbliv, and I'm here for liner notes. Take one.